No pilot. All right, we do have some, why don't we just move the, opinion ceremonies for this morning now, and then we'll do the rest of the things. So let's, Chief, why don't you take it away?
Dan Marty, will you please step up? And
This is always a great time in here at Columbia River. Got a little thing here to read that kind of outlines. It is a policy of Columbia River Fire and Rescue that district members affirm the oath of their office as an expression of commitment to the constitutional right of those served by the district and the dedication of its members to their duties. You have been chosen and have been trained to be a firefighter, paramedic. I can't. For Columbia River Fire and Rescue. In addition to responding to emergencies, your duties are many. As a firefighter paramedic, you are responsible for maintaining your knowledge, skills, and physical abilities. You are also responsible for providing exceptional service to our citizens in conformance with the vision, mission, guideline principles, and expectations adopted by the fire district. It is your duty to respond when called. Your supervisors, peers, and community rely on your abilities and professionalism in the performance of your role as a firefighter. Please raise your hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Henry Marty,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the policies and procedures,
that I will support
the laws and ordinance of Columbia River Fire and Rescue,
the laws of
the state of Oregon,
the state of Oregon,
and I will uphold the Constitution of the United States. Further, I will faithfully, honorably, and to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
protect the safety and lives
protect the safety and lives
of my fellow responders and the citizens who care has been entrusted
citizens, care, and entrusted.
to me. So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'd like to present you a certificate commemorating this day. I congratulate you for your efforts. I've seen Mr. Marty do his 12-month exam. Very, very impressive. Definitely sets the bar for what we're looking for firefighters and for members of his organization. I thank you very much, and it's a proud pleasure to be serving with you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
And now at this time, we have a badge that we'd like to remove your probationary badge and a loved one pin you with your permanent badge. Lieutenant Haney wore that fancy outfit. Come up here and stand next to Mr. Murray, firefighter Marty. Yes, take one back. That's all right. It came all this way. Look how fancy it is.
Right. Thank you.
Wait, Jennifer, you got
Jennifer, could you,
Jennifer, you got it.
Come on, folks, family, want to come up and have pictures taken?
Come on, everybody, let's come on.
Good steel.
The next badge ceremony we have is for Division Chief Jim Sanchez.
He's fixing Chief Peterson's phone.
No.
Now, this is an interesting, badge ceremony for me as well. I have the dubious honor of knowing Chief Sanchez from back home by reputation and by his work ethic. Chief Sanchez is actually a second generation firefighter. And with this promotion, he actually, reaches the rank that his father retired from as division chief at Portland Fire Department in South Florida. I congratulate him for his efforts. His career has been, long and extensive. He's been, charged with responsibilities all the way from firefighter, all the way up, to include, progressive responsibility in EMS, in operations, in procurement and budgeting. He's going to be a fine addition, to our staff as he takes on the role of finance and logistics administration for this fire department. The role was held originally by a civilian staff member. We moved to a firefighter position because it just makes it a lot easier from my perspective to explain the needs and to understand the needs that the fire service has from a firefighter. Somebody who's actually put on the gear, somebody who's actually run the calls, loaded the patients. Chief Sanchez brings all that and much more here to Columbia River. And it was a 4,000-mile trip he took to relocate, to bring his family here to help serve this community. I can't thank him enough for his dedication and his commitment. He is a credit to the fire service, to himself, and to his family. So, without further ado, Chief Sanchez, please, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jimmy Sanchez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the policies and procedures,
that I will support the policies and
laws, and ordinances
laws and
of Columbia River Fire and Rescue,
Columbia River Fire and Rescue,
the state of Oregon,
the state of Oregon,
and will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America.
and will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America,
I will faithfully,
faithfully,
honorably,
honorably,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
protect the safety
protect the safety
and lives
and lives
of my fellow responders
of my fellow responders
and citizens
and citizens
whose care has been
whose care has been
entrusted to me.
entrusted to me.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Chief Sanchez.
Thank you. Thank you. This is my better half, everyone.
Sanchez. More picture. So, want to bring the kids up? Come on.
You guys say hi. Everybody wants to see you. They don't want to see you. Say hi.
Chief Sanchez brought his whole family up here from South Florida or North Florida.
Just for the night.
Yes. Miss, do one more picture with myself and, Chief, yeah, you can be the picture, yeah, sure. Great, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The agenda, so next on our agenda is correspondence. And I always suggest that if folks don't want to stay, we're just gonna go into the fun activity of the district, so it's the exciting part of it. It's the exciting part. No. Yes. You gotta stay. Do that, Mark. No, already. All right, correspondence. So in our packet, I think we had
Do it again.
quite a few, items, so.
Yeah, man.
We just, folks thanking us. Next, we have the, meeting minutes from the board meeting in July, so we did not have a board meeting in August. So the minutes. That's correct. That is our one item. Motion to approve the minutes from the board of July 12, 2022. Is there a second? Second. Okay, motion second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
We got a five from Gary. Okay, next, chief officer's report.
Well, we have moved on with our hiring process. We, to fill the vacancies that we have, our fire academy should be starting here next Monday. Now, that fire academy is gonna include 3 extra full-time, employees that are set up to enhance the service we provide as we move to reach the numbers that, we have spoken about that should be in place to help us enhance the service that we provide. Again, we have nothing but growth happening in Columbia County, to which ends that we're definitely gonna, at some point in time, have to look at building at least one new fire station and enhancing the conditions and infrastructure that we have of the stations that we have in existence today. But that's really the main point that we're doing right now. We are working with things in the ASA that we can touch on. But we have a meeting on the 20th that will be attended by us. That is, with the county strictly to discuss the ASA. And, we have a full laundry list of things to go over with the board when we get under new business. So that's really all that I want to go into. And, unless the board has any comments or any questions.
Okay, we don't have anything listed under old business. Last month.
I've got a question. I apologize for not adding the agenda. What's with the civil service update on new members for the commission?
Well, we're in the process of still trying to find new members. I've spoken with Scappoose and class tonight, and I allowed them the opportunity to go ahead and see if they had anybody who they may want to have. I know that the Scappoose Rural Fire District had somebody that they wanted for plans examiner when we went with Scott Jorgensen. So I wanted to make sure that they had the opportunity to see if any of those people wanted to contact them to be part of the civil service board, so we would know exactly how many we needed to advertise for. But yeah, we've had no takers. So the civil service board really is still currently in effect in that if we need them, they said that they would do whatever we could, the existing 3 members, to get together and be able to assist us. However, it's not their preference to do so. There's personal reasons there for all 3. They've been members for a long time. So we're looking to right now advertise. Chief Sanchez actually has been working on that with Kate Leonard about advertising on different medias and such as that. We're not really advertising on like Indeed or things like that because it's a volunteer position. So we're gonna do the Starlight, the different papers, the Chief, you know, all the newspapers in the area. We're gonna take out like some, the Chronicle. We're gonna take out like, you know, like page ads to see if we can get anybody looking at it. We're also thought about maybe if we could do a public, announcement with the radio station that's here over by the DMV. We're looking into seeing if we can do something like that. But that's where we are with trying to replace the members of the civil service board.
Thank you. One other thing, I know last night it was talked about the, admin building and the glitches with the city. If everything is to go forward, when do you think that building will be completely remodeled and staff be moved in?
Well, we're hoping that should be complete, sometime in November.
Thank you.
I said there's no open, so let's go into, in business. We have resolutions.
Yes.
Yes.
What we need to go into is that we have a lot of housekeeping to do. It's been over the past, probably 6 months that we've identified, some areas that we need to enhance our documentation with. And to that, I give the floor to, Division Chief Sanchez.
Good evening. It's like you said, it's housekeeping, just resolution for check signers, deposit funds. You don't have record of that right now, so I just want to make sure you're all within the ORS. Housekeeping for that, housekeeping for having access to accounts, contractual agreements. You guys agreed to, if we're signing something around the $10,000 procurement policy procedures. The custodian of records, we're naming Kate Leonard. As long as there's no objections, you guys can, you'll see the resolutions I'll pass out to you. I figured we can sign them at the end if everybody's okay with that. You can look at them, and each has the signature for each one of you for yay or nay. So that way, it will know if it's accepted at the end or not accepted. It's not just a sign and it's done. You'll be able to fill it out one by one. It's set up that way. The procurement policy and procedure, we don't have one fully, so this takes care of all the stop gaps in it, and it delineates clearly from the $10,000 mark ORS 279B.070. It delineates that clearly, how we're doing that with Pop IQ, how we're gonna purchase things in the future, how you guys are gonna see it as a board and approve it, and we're not violating subsection B where it says that if we spend $2,000 here, $4,000 here, $4,000 here, we'll be jumped over the $10,000. That's illegal. Can't do that. So this is, so I have some line items from our budget that you guys approved already, but just some extra documentation that says, okay, well, we're using this, yes, over the course of the year, EMS supplies, perfect example. If we only could run an entire fire department $10,000 a year, we can't, but EMS supplies, kind of opening that up, there's a resolution there that says, yes, we're gonna go over $10,000, of course, doing that, but it's just an extra documentation that says, hey, you guys know that, you approved it. And with Chief Halsey, when he's approving those things, that way we're not crossing, crisscrossing our path or doing anything outside of the sorts.
Well, as we talked yesterday, we've searched high and low for a lot of documentation to establish the process and procedures that we have in place. And some of that has been lacking. This is just to cross our Ts and dot our Is. There are different ORSs that mandate that we have people appointed in certain positions. And then we have to reference an ORS. Okay, so to elaborate a little bit on what Chief Sanchez just says, if you approve $180,000 in EMS supplies, and Chief Halsey needs to order $20,000, well then, in theory, we would have to come back to you and ask for it. But with this resolution, it allows us to spend up to $180,000 without having to keep coming back, because it's a budgeted item and we've already established that that's the amount that we're gonna spend because it's been adopted. So it's just a way of documenting how we're spending the money and how the money is being allocated for the different resources and in what fashion.
Not all for one person.
Right.
So that,
How many resolutions are there?
there's 11, sir.
And
One has a contingency as well that, that you guys would look at. It's not accepting the contingency plan, it's accepting if, you guys agree to it in the terms that was presented, then that contingency plan, you're giving the signing right to Chief Medina after you guys agree, and it says that after the board agrees, then you get the signing right, so we don't have to call a special session or anything like that, so.
Yeah, these are all, I mean, there's 11 now. I can tell you, we've already identified 27 more resolutions that need to be placed so that we adhere to ORS and documents that need to be established. But we have to ease into it because we have to verify that there isn't any other documentation that it conflicts with. And it's painstaking going page by page because there is nothing electronic. And we're shifting towards an electronic method of categorizing all our policies and procedures.
I literally had to go through a palette and I could find the resolution on this stuff, so.
Now, how long do these resolutions last? Just 1 year?
Some are so some of them, yes, are 1 year, some of them are until you decide that it's changed, it says in there, until replacement. So if you want to come back and you say you want it replaced, you can have it replaced. It doesn't say it's forever. The signing is for like based on fire chief until placed, right? Until you guys, so it doesn't take any powers from you, and it's word for word, you guys can read it all. The custodian of duty is, we named it as, so your record is Kate until you guys decide to change it.
So the way that we kind of really have to do it is we're supposed to read, and this is why we did it, we were supposed to read every single resolution. But that's gonna take hours. So, if we read the first page and then go over the summary action of it, it might speed it up if the board is willing to accept that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, because if not, it's gonna take, so I'll read the beginning of it and I'll kind of walk everybody through kind of how it goes, and then we'll bring the resolutions one at a time for signatures.
There's one more question. So after we're done with this, what's happening with the resolutions being provided, copies to the board? How are we managing this stuff?
Yes, so definitely gonna be electronic, and copies will be sent to your emails, you can save them as well, and we're gonna have them saved in 2 places.
And one of the places is gonna be our electronic cloud.
Yes,
So that moving forward, this administration and other administrations in the future, when somebody goes, who had the authority to sign this contract? You'll be able to look at the resolution and identify that the board on this date gave this individual that authority.
and it's by fiscal year, and it's, right now, we're starting at 1 for this fiscal year. Whether they should reference it, but I think you have access to the S drive and stuff too, because you go in there if you want, I'll provide you the whole file, you'll have a single copy. I'll personally give you USBs if you'd like with it.
So I'll start reading the original, the first resolution, and then, Chief Sanchez will kind of hand you the stuff to sign. And it says, whereas the following is presented for authorization to the Fire Board Directors of Columbia River Fire and Rescue Department, herein referred to as CRFR, in a meeting held at 58611 McNulty Way, St. Helens, Oregon, 97051 on this 13th day of September 2022. At least 3 of the item 1, at least 3 of the directors were present, constituting a quorum. Board President Hans Fahey, Vice President Kelly Niles, Secretary Treasurer Gary Hudson, Director Mark Kreitzer, and Director Kim McLean. The Fire Board of Directors, being present, formally called the meeting to order and declared the meeting to be regularly called. Be it resolved, upon a motion duly made and seconded, then it'll have a carried or denied vote, for or against. And then after that, it goes into saying, be it ordained, the following memorandum was read and ordered to be inserted in these minutes. And that the statement is, we, the Fire Board of Columbia River Fire and Rescue, by our authority proclaim and either carry or deny the resolution number being held at the above time and place, and consent to the transactions of such business as may have come before it, as testified by the signatures below. So, there you go. This is the way that it'll work out. This resolution, this is the template that we're using from now on. This is the signatures goes. You will write either approve or deny, and you'll date it. The president will call for a vote. Once the motion gets made, he can decide to make the motion for this. Then you'll write for or against, and then you'll pass it around to the signatures. On the back, you'll have what was resolved. This right here is the following individuals are appointed to confirm as signing officers for Columbia River Fire and Rescue until replaced and are authorized to manage bank accounts that have been established for the benefit of Columbia River Fire Rescue and subsequent protection of the citizens. Sign endorsed checks, draft, and other payments for those bank accounts. They are authorized to sign bills of ladings and other documents as needed reasonably for the normal conduct of business for Columbia River Fire and Rescue. So we would need a motion to adopt this resolution as read. And then you're gonna sign it in two places as the president. You're gonna sign here, attesting to the fact that that this motion was voted on. And then the rest of the stuff, you'll either, you'll either circle, carried or denied. And then, how the vote happened, and then you'll pass your signatures. And this.
That goes with that, that's from that bank itself.
Okay, let's do the first one then.
You want me
So we're not gonna be able to see these resolutions before we vote on them.
Well, he's gonna make a motion about what I just read. It's a check signing motion. What happens is this, we don't have any authority from the board as to who's designed to sign checks. It's all verbally and whoever got put on this list. But you can't have check signers for the board or accounts unless the board identifies who that person's gonna be.
for ORS 478?
Yeah, and
We've
that,
done that in the past.
we have no record of it.
It's been done in the past because we have to go down and sign check signing records.
Oh, yeah, but that's the check signing
there, but
record.
You don't have, we don't
But
have.
there's no resolution that identifies that. And Oregon statute identified that the board has to vote on a resolution to be able to do that. It's just formalizing business. And we're gonna be doing this a lot as we go.
Well, there's gonna be a lot of these, so.
All right. Your motion.
Oh, yeah, I agree, take your,
Let's see, I make a motion to approve resolution FY 22-2301 deposit and disbursement of funds, sorry.
is it, that's the exact language from the ORS.
Second. I'll second. It's been second. Need discussion.
Yep.
Pretty standard stuff.
So what he was talking about going to the bank, that's what the bank has. Just wasn't good, be that back to the company.
Yeah, that's been done in the past. But without having the resolution for it, it really shouldn't be done. Just cleaning up.
You don't have to explain it.
I'm just
What I
identifying.
do.
Yeah.
So why do we
This is
have
me.
sections 1 and 2 in here? I've never seen that before. When we do a resolution.
You mean, right, which, this right here, the fire board of
Yeah.
directors? So this is just saying that you're all here, and then saying that at least 3 of you were here. It's stating that at least 3 of you were here to meet quorum, because that's required by ORS, correct? And then the fire board of directors being present, you formally called it and said that the president called the meeting to order, and it's all approved, and we're doing this above board. And then be it resolved, if you guys accept it after you guys fill it out, you can circle carried or denied. So you're not signing just the old way, some of the stuff that I found like in pieces was just a signature that said you approved it, but it didn't say that you said okay, that you said okay, that you said okay, and you said okay. It was just someone's signature. So it wasn't really clear if it was approved or if it was denied, right?
And some of the signatures were not of the board.
Yes.
We're just trying to clean the house.
So then afterwards, like you can sign for or against, and then today's date, and then that way, this is all official, we know it's carried or it was denied.
Totally different.
Yes, we're doing the resolutions different because, what we did is, we seek counsel as to what the resolutions have to have in order for them to be legally viable per ORS. And what we discovered is that many of our resolutions wouldn't have stood up to,
Another one.
right, to criticism for ORS. So that's why we're doing it this way now. That's why the template has changed.
So, do you have any other questions, Paul? We have a motion and a second. Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So, motion carries. So I will start signing this.
You can do that at the end, sir, if you guys, because there's,
Yeah, why don't we go through it all and then we can mark. On signing signatures.
so the language, as you guys can see, I'll just show you, it's the same all until the last paragraph. With some other sites to it. So the next one that we have is contractual agreements, and that has, I cited the ORS literally word for word right from the site. The following, this is for contractual agreements. The following individual, Fire Chief Joel Medina, is appointed and confirmed as signing officer for Columbia River Fire Rescue until replaced and is authorized to sign on behalf of the district until replaced. So you guys have that's in all of them. So if there's something that you guys want to change, we can change it later. It's not a forever thing. Until replaced, district to enter into contractual agreement value under $10,000 for Columbia River Fire and Rescue and for a contract or benefit that does not violate ORS 279B.070 after board approval for an intermediate procurement after board approval. So we're giving him signing authority for things after your approval. Which will be another resolution, benefit or service. And then that's, I have the ORS cited with that.
So we're putting him as the only one?
For one of them after board approval. You guys will be on it, but it's just adding him as another. He's not the only one, because as you can say, but after board approval. So there will be an accompanying resolution with this that you guys said, yes.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense now. Thank you.
Because I don't have anything that says the fire chief is a contract signer as well right now. So that kind of ties my hands with things and then with you guys.
So once again, because you're right, this is exactly the same, just exactly the.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution FY 22-23-02 contractual agreements.
Second.
And language is clear. It says, and you guys can see it actually. Which means you guys are very much involved. Trying to-
Okay, good. Motion in a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Yeah. Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
5-0. There's many, start signing, pass it down. Yeah, I think that's good.
So 03, the next one in line. This one is custodian of records. We're naming Kate Turner, custodian of records. Says the following individual is appointed and confirmed as the custodian of records for Columbia River Fire Rescue until replaced and is authorized to record and fulfill all the required duties of this position on behalf of the district.
Just keep going.
You're doing awesome, Ken.
All right, I will make a motion to approve resolution FY 22-23-03 custodian of records. Kelly, you're sleeping on the job.
Second.
Thank you. Oh, there you go, Mark. Sorry, you.
Not good at, multitasking.
I'll keep you on your toes. Don't worry.
The procurement policy and procedure 4. This actually has the whole procedure and policy behind it. I won't read the whole thing, but you can look through it if you'd like. It's in alignment with 279. Literally, it just has the fact that we adopted, that we accepted, that we're going to be operating under this ORS, which is in here clearly. And it says the District of Columbia River Fire and Rescue accepts the procurement policy and procedure until replaced. It authorizes CRFR and its administration to enforce this policy and procedure in accordance with all applicable laws, statutes, and ordinances that govern this district.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution we still have one on the table.
This one hasn't been recorded. Is there custodian of record should be a position with the name attached or just a name?
Her position for this is going to be custodian of record, and it's going to be named Kate in this position.
But it should be her position?
In the department?
Yeah.
No, for, it's an additional job duty for her, but we wanted to have it approved by you.
Okay. Thank you.
This is custodian breakfast bill, is there a motion? We've already got a motion. We got a motion, we got a second. Right, custodian breakfast, okay. All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Yeah. Right, yes, sir.
Hans, for Gary, you can print his name. If he gives you authority, you can print his name and just initial it and then write, approved via,
Teams.
virtually, yeah, approved virtually.
It is.
This one.
I grant my permission for the signature as long as somebody does it left-handed.
Sorry, Gary.
I got you, Gary.
That's it.
I got you.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution FY 22-2304 procurement of policy and procedures.
Second.
So are we gonna have to go down and re-sign the check cash?
That's actually down there. We brought it.
Okay.
So, and you guys. So
It's right here, Mark. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So this just makes it official now. Because the bank really shouldn't have tried us.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, we usually just don't.
Yes. So, but now with this, we're official.
I like to be covered stock.
Ready for the.
But hold on, Mark, don't sign number 4 yet.
Yeah, that one, you guys wanna, yeah,
Well, we haven't called for a vote on that, but that's the one she just read.
you can read through that one thing.
Eric,
Halsey's on it, and Chief Halsey's on there as well.
Mike and Halsey, President authorized signature.
The bank said that they need those because you're here.
Oh, Mark's gonna sign.
Yes. I'm gonna read.
Fast. You're waiting back there. Need your signature over there.
That was for the bank ones across. First one. I do have a separate one coming up for Kate, just so you guys, if I'm approving her, she's been doing a great job on it, but I need a resolution for to look at the accounts and everything, it just doesn't give her signing. You ready for the next?
Are we on, we're still waiting on, we have to.
You have to call for the vote on number 4. Where's number 4?
There's third. Gary's reading it. Sorry, Mark's reading it.
I just need to sign up here and I'm good.
Yep. Here, you can have that back. So that this is what I'm doing.
Actually, it's.
Sign Gary's name, looking,
I haven't got it back to me.
oh. Here. These ones he's already signed, so go ahead and do Gary's left-handed and that.
Yeah, the initials.
This
This is the bank.
What do you do?
Oh, okay, the back will not, but the
What do I
other,
need to
yeah.
put on there for Gary, anything?
The only,
Print his name.
you can print his name and then initial, you can say that it was over Teams, so he gave you approval.
How do you spell Gary?
Competitive bidding required.
For also over intermediate, so if we go over 150, for instance, we sign some competitive bids.
150, 150,000.
And that's required, so we'll have to go and then we get it developed, committee and stuff like that.
Gary.
You know, it goes through everything, they have to present it to the request for chief level. With the new rate, so, which is how we're supposed to do it. So,
This says greater than 10,000.
yeah, so the, as the ORS is greater than 10 to 149.
Bid of bidding can only be like phone call?
No. They're gonna be, it is gonna be filed, we're gonna have paperwork. It goes in so much depth that actually I need to have copies of their, if they have sexual harassment policy, I need to have copies if they have, the EEOC policy, there's non-discrimination, no. I need to have that in the file, so, in order for me to even to consider. If they don't have a policy, then we're legally, because we're using taxpayer funds.
Chief Sanchez sets the bar high when it comes to attention to detail.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah, and which is what we're trying to get. We're trying to get to the point where all the documentation is straight and then there's no misunderstanding.
Like, this is housekeeping for all of us. And as you notice, I put in.
I think this is last page.
Until you guys.
The chief signatures on the last page on the two new tabs.
Good job.
Hey, Jennifer, if you want probate badges or recordings.
Make sure if I start,
Hey, am I on this, Kate?
And you'll have.
Or am I already on this?
no.
Here, you need to sign.
Where?
The blue tab, it says your name on it.
Last
It was so nice.
Last page.
Last page.
It's $10,000 and up short of a minimum of 3 written quotes.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. So we can do the written posts and stuff that competitors.
Thanks,
do.
Kelly.
So that's the best practice. So the 3 written posts, and this is why we put it in, that's why I was trying to do. To kind of focus in on that. If we're going out for poker game, right? Poker here, turnout here, whatever we get them called, or wild end here for everybody. We should be going out to get competitive bidding, at least minimum of 3 quotes. That's what I'm used to. That way, you're A, B, and C, you guys are now going to fight for our business, right? Because I'm telling you, hey, I want the best price for the, the best thing for my guy. And I'm not just going straight to you, I use you all the time, I'm gonna charge you whatever I want, if you don't want.
Something still pretty special.
Yes, and those things, and the things that are specialized and stuff that you guys agree to, which is also an ROS, you can write in there, like, hey, this is why we're using this contractor, because we've been using some, this is why we're using this here. Because we've been using some. So look for mine. But that's specific in those things, and then we all get into.
So this doesn't specify we take the bid.
No, you do not, don't take the vote bid.
Oh, sorry, it's all good.
We can always do in the best interest of the
Yeah, it does,
district
yeah, right,
letter,
so-
but it has to be submitted to the board and accepted.
Okay, so we have, this is there a motion for?
And he wanted to do all of it. He wanted to do all of it.
Vote for, all those in favor of, resolution 4? Say aye. Aye.
You can take me out later.
I think it's too much already.
Aye. Okay, 5-0.
The next one is the line item 20-6031, which is for uniforms, which you guys have already approved in the budget. It's specifically $20,000 agreed upon and approved for the fiscal year 2023. However, when we're purchasing uniforms, it's coming down over the course of the year. This is just me covering that subsection B. Over the course of the year, we're gonna spend $20,000. This uniforms, if you guys are really sure or something like that. There's a line in there that says if you do that, $10,000, it looks like it could be celebration. This is the cover that you guys understand, that's what we're purchasing. It's up to that point, you include it. This is housekeeping.
Is that number 5?
Yes, sir.
Number 5. Resolution, or I'd like to make a motion to pass resolution FY 22-23-05, line item 20-6031, uniforms.
Second.
Oh. I'll get on that site.
The next 3 are actually line items, if you wanna, I can put it on the table, it's the same thing, just the different amounts that go along to assign with their budget already.
This is which, what are the?
So the personal protective equipment, and this one is the, for the budget, $40,000, as you guys have a copy that's approved, that's on our website. And then the next one is EMS supplies, for the budget, which was $141,000 over the year for the budgets. Now, like I said, that was an example I used earlier. Chief Halsey over there unfortunately can't run a whole district for $9,999 a year to take care of EMS supply and everything else like that, so.
You better work on that.
I am, I'm gonna keep it to 141. So this says that, hey, you know that we're purchasing monthly or weekly to fulfill the needs of this district.
You'll still get financial reports
Yes,
and still get declarations. But because that number is so high that we can't order anything unless you give us the authority to do so.
and you're gonna, so for me in the future, you're gonna see this at this next board meeting, you're gonna see training as this. Encumbered, unencumbered funds, you're actually gonna have percentage, how much of the percentage of the years left, how much percentage of used, and the number from training, EMS, ops, and you're gonna actually get. That's for the EMS supplies. And then third one is the, well, no, the first one.
Okay, first one.
So this was 2, 3.
So accept the purchase of uniforms for employees. So every line item will have to have a resolution.
No, these are just some of the big ones, the ones that we do a lot, that we use over the year, like EMS supplies. So this is kind of the housekeeping one that we're doing so much and that I've identified right now that I feel like should have been at this first board. So.
For example, if we ordered 3 sets of bunker gear, that's would be way over $10,000. But what Chief Sanchez identified is that we were having, some firefighters order $15,000-$20,000 worth of supplies and equipment. And that can't happen per ORS. It's against ORS standards to do so. So this is a way to try to clean it up so that we're not breaking the law.
Well, yeah, and I really don't want you to come to the board meeting every time you want to order 2 sets of bunker gear.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the purpose for that also.
It's with it, but we're not gonna exceed the budget that you approved. Obviously, that's why it's line item, and I saw the exact line item in the budget.
You tell me how you did it, they're these two and.
There's 3 line items. Let's do all 3 together. Yeah.
Okay, are you okay with that? All 3 line items together? Okay, so
Along.
I make a motion to approve resolution FY 22-23-06, line item 206030, personal protective equipment, and resolution fiscal year 2022-2023-07, line item 206033 EMS supplies.
3.
We already did the first one.
Second.
Okay, ready to go, Scoop? Okay, we good then.
Okay, then.
Let's sort of.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
5-0. Okay.
Oh, did you ever find out if we get, the write-off for unused medications from when your EMS teams are not using a full vial?
No, I forgot to follow up on that, I think, so, I'm making note of that, so I can check it in.
Because you want to make sure a lot of insurances will cover that with a JW modifier. Up to a certain amount, that they understand, sometimes they use a full vial, but it's when you get paid for as much as you can.
Yeah, I know a lot of our stuff isn't, individualized, you know, I mean, we're kind of like
Yeah.
a bucket transport, but, never, look,
Money's money.
Jimmy, next.
All right, so this is to avoid having to have a special session or something like that. This is a revolving line of credit that I think we talked about using as a contingency plan. If needed as it stands right now, we don't have a contingency plan. God forbid the fire station burns down tomorrow, we don't have anything to cover. So this is revolving line of credit that we put out the US Bank term. This is will grant, which I'll read it, will grant Chief Anita signing authority, we don't have to follow up with us after you guys agree to the terms. So instead of calling it that, it'll get a granting authority to pay for it, to initiate it, as it's giving us, because the initial cost of it can be anywhere from 12 to 15,000, but after that, we have this for 2 years. And it's something that we did have before. Unfortunately, it was killed before I got here. I think it's absolutely necessary as a finance person to have it. You'll be able to see the terms. This is not agreeing to it today. This is agreeing to give him signing authority after you guys. So that way we don't have to 2 weeks from now after you guys see it. that is this one, so you can read the last one, where it's up, it's a revolving line of credit for $2 million. If we use it, we use it, you guys will obviously know about this, not happening in the back, and this would be a discussion that we're gonna be here. And then that would come, guess what, another resolution saying, this is what we do. Yep.
All right. So I make a motion to approve resolution fiscal year 2022-2023 OA revolving line of credit.
Second.
That one?
It's the last third. And it's up to $2 million and to initiate with the funds anywhere from 12, 15 being the max with legal fees. 15.
Now, Dennis, so, for, okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Okay.
5-0, motion carries.
This one's housekeeping too. This is access to accounts. I did this separately instead of putting Kate on the other one because that would have given her check signing authority and everything. So this is just, she has access to everything. She can run reports. She can help us out really, what she has been doing. And then just delineates it, literally the last thing it says is that she cannot sign other checks or transfer funds. So that's the difference with this. Sorry.
I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution fiscal year 2022-2023 access to accounts.
Second.
Two more.
Okay. So this is for resolution 22-23-09, access to accounts. We have a motion in a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0, motion carries.
This one's housekeeping for fire med reciprocity, and we know about the fire med program here and $60. Well, it was recently brought to my attention that some other people outside of the district have been paying fire med, even though we have reciprocity on our website, it says it as well, part of the program. This is just to cover us that says if we prove and they are proven to have fire med, then per the actual guidelines of fire med, they don't have to pay the ambulance cost, right, as it says.
That's awesome. Because I keep trying to figure out how I was gonna get from here to the stories.
Under the guidelines of it, like, you can't be a private ambulance, or so, you know, to, per the guidelines, which I put on there as well, it says.
These guys want to talk to a story, how you buy one to the hospital?
There's a bus that's out of Rainier. You can ride it.
Hey,
$7.
hey.
Not being helpful.
It's $7 for the story.
I guess I could take the
I still don't know.
ambulance the other way. Keep trying to get them to bring me a lifeline.
So for instance, if someone's from Gap Boost came in and we go to them, it's both ways. So it benefits our citizens and it benefits them.
All right, so I make a motion to approve resolution fiscal year 2022-2023 number 10, firemen. Oh, Lord, thank you.
Second.
Okay. You wanna read that one? Sorry.
There's one more here.
The last one's good news, great news. Yeah.
It just says that when you're down in Seaside, if you have fire in this, they'll bring you.
Within the firemen.
Yeah. So I know it's pretty part of fire.
Now you're on, see now.
Yeah, the private ambulance side is life care.
Yeah.
That extends that.
Yeah.
But not all transporting agencies recognize firemen.
Correct.
No, that's really basically for Scappoose,
Yeah.
us, and Class 9. And Vernonia, yes.
Okay, so to only go to Claston. They
Okay.
just put in a very low.
Go to West
there,
Point.
Harvey.
Okay, that would be a motion and a second and discussion. So this is for resolution 22-23-10 for fireman reciprocity. For those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, 5-0, motion carries.
And finally, I would like to congratulate Chief Mandola and Jennifer Motherway and all these young ladies and gentlemen over here. We got awarded an AFG grant.
Yay, good job.
So as housekeeping for that, we have a grant match. However, I'm gonna give you the numbers. The numbers we got awarded is $25,640. We have to match $2,303.91 with grant. We got awarded $25,000. We have to contribute $2,303.
Chief Patel, what was that for? This is for blue card education as well as instruction for myself and Battalion Chief Gorsuch to go to Phoenix and get a blue card instructor certification. And then to obtain the software and materials needed to train up our department. And we have the simulation software to not only continue to train our department, but also reach out to our county partners and help train them as well.
That was, what's the chief's that developed that?
Brucini,
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, they don't even want anymore?
Alan Brucini, his son's one.
What's the blue card?
It is a certification process, basically education process in relation to the distribution of resources within our system. So you talked about the incident command system or fire scope ICS 500 and the breaking up of a scene both tactically and strategically. This addresses the utilization of resources in regards to the public.
I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution for 2022-2023, number 11, grant match for EMW 2021 FJ 06.
Tell Sanchez, sit down, Mendola, you're doing it.
Yeah.
I can't hear. Thank you.
Say it again, please. Do we have a motion and a second? Any further discussion on this? Okay. All those in favor? Resolution 22-23-11, grant match, for EMW 2021 FTE 09824. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Please go. So 5-0, motion carries.
I have 10 more over here.
No, no.
You got.
He had 38 and I'm like, yeah, we're not doing 38 at one time. It's just not gonna happen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sign the ballot again.
It's gotta be done. Gotta be done.
Sounds.
We gave them the mark.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't dig in.
So first step to petition.
Yeah, we just have to make sure everything's. We stated, and we got everybody. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Or just the,
Yeah.
if you have access to it, you can. Oh, you're lucky. That'd be might be easier. Whichever. Yeah. Ready, go ahead. Okay, let's see, next on the agenda, we have, the fire protection agreement. Chief? Any, background on this, Bill?
No, sir, that's just a standard fire protection agreement that they need in order to get homeowners insurance. They have to have some kind of a, agreement, providing that. We've looked at it and it fits the parameters that we look for in these protection agreements.
So there's two properties or one property?
One property. Yes. Yes.
Okay, we'll need a motion.
I got this one.
Oh, you got that one?
Yep.
Okay. go ahead.
I guess my question would be one or two, because we have a fire protection agreement and a consent to annexation. So we got two separate motions for that.
You could make one motion for both.
I'll make motion to enter into the fire protection agreement in Columbia Fire and Rescue and Don Barbara Center. Also, the consent to annexation agreement will be for tax lot number 5 North 2 West, section 600, tax lot number 200, located at 65720 Inlet Road, Rainier, Oregon 97048.
I'll second it.
There any discussion on this?
Are you sure we can do them both together, or should they be separate? I think they should be separate. But
Go together. I think we do together. One, if you look at it, one just really says there's a set value of what their fee is. And the second is the agreement, pretty standard.
you know what, let's do this. I will retract my original motion. So, because looking at them, there are two separate signature blocks for these, so let's make them separate. All right, so I'll retract my first motion. So this is, make a motion to enter into fire protection agreement between Columbia Fire and Rescue and Don and Barbara Hunter for tax lot 502 West, section 6, tax lot number 200 at 65720 Inlet Road, Rainier, Oregon 97048.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That will be for you to sign.
Okay.
All right, next motion is consent to annexation agreement with Columbia Fire Rescue for tax lot 5 North 2 West, section 6, tax lot 200, address 65720 Annika Road, Rainier, Oregon 97048.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Motion second, any further discussion, this is for the. Consent decree. Okay, all those in favor? Say aye. Again, motion carries 5. Yeah, you can get, you don't pay. You can send back. Those were my own. Hopefully, some the same. Yes.
Yep, you got to sign those both and Gary's.
Okay, so Jimmy.
We all.
Okay, fire protection agreement, that's done. Next on the agenda is board members' comments. Mark, you want to start?
See, there's an organizational chart that are proposed, I'm assuming.
No, that's the organizational chart for that I put together that identifies the hierarchy that we're working at. I followed ICS 207 form. Uses the same form that FEMA has for organization. It fits where we are right now, so we just followed.
The other thing is, this weekend, I'm going down to Las Vegas for the National Association of Emergency and Fire Officials Conference. So, I've done that for the past several years, so I'm always looking forward to that. Getting involved with that. The other thing is, you know, with the admin remodel going on, I would like to know where the staff members are. I guess they're out in Rainier, Deer Island, St. Helens Station. I was curious if we get that information out, who's there, so I have an idea who wants to live. With the feed.
You want me to tell you now, or you want me to email you, sir?
If you could email me, because I'd also like their phone numbers, email address for both staff and board. I can put them in my phone. That we're trying to talk to them.
Yes, sir.
I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
So, sorry, you guys know me, and it's gonna get worse because my new division of the hospital happens to deal with all of this. We're still missing some insurance companies, Kate, can you, oh,
Yeah.
who's dealing with that? Is
Policy.
that you now? Who's dealing with insurance companies?
Insurance companies for, in regards
To billing? All
To
your,
billing?
yeah,
we're working through that right now, yes.
okay, because you're missing UHC and Providence, and there's probably a ton more that I can't think of right now.
I can answer to that one too. That one I can't answer to, because I contacted DW on that. And what they said is that there's subsidiaries to main insurances that only deal with ambulance transportations. So it could be, for example, Columbia Insurance for the hospital, but Columbia's insurance for EMS transport might be, Jim's insurance. So it shows up as differently, but it's one subsidiary of the other. That's why you have so many different little breakdowns, because different branches of an overall global insurance companies handles different perspectives of service.
Yeah.
Some do imaging, some just do so-and-so. They have a specific one for just ambulance transport.
Yeah.
It
But I
could
will
be
tell
on
you
there.
right now, you have Camp VA, which comes out of the US Treasury Department.
Mhm.
Okay, so you have Blue Card, which is BCBS.
Mhm.
You have the VA, you have Medicare, you have Oregon Medicaid, which is OHA. You have Railroad Medicare, you have Medicare B, which is the one that pays ambulance. You have Cigna, you have Medicare, you have TRICARE for Life, which is actually WPS. Again, BCBS, Cigna, Camp VA, Medicaid, VA. So you have 3 big payers. You now have MODA on here, which is awesome. But still, you're missing, and I can tell you right now, UHC pays for their own ambulance. They are now a huge company. They are the ones responsible for AARP Medicare Advantage plans. They also have secondaries and deal with UHC. Oh, Lord, they've got tons of them now. Medicare Advantage plans, supplements, their own regular insurance, commercial. They even have Medicaids. You also have on here, let's see, Aetna, that's a plus. Moda Community is actually your CCO out of Eastern Oregon. I'm sorry, that's the OHSU one. Oh, you have Regents Federal, that's good. But yeah, you're still missing a couple of payers. So you might want to look into those.
Yes, ma'am, we will.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna,
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. We should be getting our money.
On some of those I've identified, like Regents I have on here, I have, Regents Blue Shield, I have, Cigna Edge Trans,
so
also,
Cigna Edge is their new plan that they have, and you won't see a ton of those. Your big one in Oregon is Regents, which is our federal. They also have Premera out of Washington. There's about 15 plans of Premera out of Washington. I'm surprised you don't have any Washington Medicaids, because unfortunately they flop back and forth so regularly, it's ridiculous. And most people don't tell them that their insurance has changed.
and the WPS you mentioned, they are paying us according to.
Yes, that's
cash
what I'm
flow
saying,
analysis.
yes.
Yes, so
Yeah,
they do
TRICARE,
show up in my cash flow now.
okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure we're getting paid from all the different payers that we have. Things that we have more Medicare Advantage plans here. There's probably 27 of them in Columbia County alone.
I've seen them in the cash flow analysis, some of them, and I have the exact amounts that we receive for them monthly that I can give you as well.
Okay,
Per me looking over the bank statements and stuff. So we are collecting through our billing company for some of those things, but I will look into those other ones for you as well.
yeah, I just want to make sure that if, I don't
Oh,
know if it's just not something that we're seeing yet, because I know there was some issues about us not being able to see payments for certain things and things like that. I want to make sure it's all resolved,
Absolutely.
because this will mess up your bottom line, especially since this is your main income.
That's great.
Sorry.
No, just, thank you for all that you do, including folks back here that are boots on the ground, out there with the people. I hear nothing but good things. I appreciate that. Makes my life a lot easier.
Now that sorry, I get kind of a little business minded. Welcome.
Thank
You guys have been doing a really great job. I've seen you guys running calls left and right, early mornings, late at night. So I want to thank you guys for working so hard. I know you guys are exhausted and tired and everybody's dragging, and I really appreciate all you guys have done. You guys, I know there was a fire on the street the other day. Thank you for, or, well, I don't know, what was it, a couple weeks ago? Thank you for putting it out so I didn't get my house. I've seen you guys really working together. I've seen you guys coming out of Clascanine. I've seen them coming out of here. So good work. Keep it up. I know it's a long haul. It's starting to slow down a little bit though, so at least for COVID related stuff.
Yeah, you said that.
So. No COVID related stuff. All right.
Gary, do you have anything to add?
Just, a kudos to Kim for doing a great job of reading those resolutions, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Well, welcome, Jimmy. And I appreciate everyone's hard work and a lot going on, so appreciate it. And I think with that, I think we are done for tonight, unless there's something else. Okay, then we are adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
I like your. Oh. That's my new position. All I do is count those things.